someone who is out there advocating similar to what we did on the national speakers and many of the others on the state level. We wanted to squeeze all the speakers in, and this is just another example. We're going to get everybody in we missed because we're going to go around in circles to get them in. But this is our first statewide speaker. We're very happy to have you here, Staci.
Richard's my best friend. And we're all lucky to have him, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. I want to thank and congratulate Monarch County Associates and their terrific, tremendous staff for pulling off a huge event today. Give them all please a round of applause. It all looks seamless, but we know it's not. And to thank and congratulate the other 38 partner organizations that helped make today possible. We're honored to be here. The Housing and Community Development Network of New Jersey is one of the longest named organizations in the state. We have the Statewide Association of Nonprofit Community Developers. Many of the folks you've heard from today and many of the organizations represented here are the community development organizations on the ground, making homes affordable and safe across the state. And it's an honor and a privilege to lead that organization to come to Washington today. And leadership is something I've been thinking a lot about. I actually have been in D.C. for a couple of days and I haven't seen a lot of leadership in some places. But I got in a little early, kind of by accident, but it gave me a little time to do some research and to think and to read, which I don't often get to do. So I read two interesting pieces while I was here yesterday. In addition to like 47 conference calls, actually pieces of intellectual thinking. And there were two things I came across. One was an article by the former director of the San Francisco CDC Association. He talked about why under the Trump administration everything has changed for housing developers and housing leaders. And why we can't just build homes, we have to also build movements. He actually said we should be building movements and not worrying about building homes, but he's much more experienced than I am in this field, so I don't want to take him on directly, I don't even know him, but it was a great article which I will share with folks if anybody's interested. But I thought it was a really interesting point. We cannot just do things, it cannot just be business as usual. Things fundamentally have changed. The paradigm that we are operating in has shifted. One of Senator Menendez's staffers said, there's more people here this year. I said, yeah, there's a lot more people because the threat is that much more dire, right? So even as organizations and individuals, we have to look to make room in our lives, in our work, in our strategic plans, in the everyday things that we do. How can we participate in making sure that everyone has a safe, affordable place to call home? How can we make sure that everyone has health care? How can we make sure that people have enough to eat? Those are fundamental things in a civil society. We don't let people we know starve. We don't let strangers go freeze in the cold. Right, New Jersey just passed the Code Blue bill with help from a lot of folks in this room. That's how we treat our neighbors and our families. And just because we don't know somebody's name does not mean that they're not a human being. And they don't need and deserve the same respect as we give someone that we know. So that's what we have to do. We have to figure out how we can both build homes and build movements. And I want to say that Richard really has pushed me a little bit, because about this time last year I said, well, we had this great event last year, and I said, well, maybe we take a year off, maybe things are not quite so dire, we don't have to go to Washington next year. And Richard said, no, we're going to have to go, and this was sort of, before the election, he said, I think we're going to have to go, and I said, well, maybe not. And Richard was right, and Richard pushed the rest of us to say, we must stand up when no one else will stand up. If not us, who? If not now, then when? And right now it is us, and it is up to us, and because no one's going to do it for us. If you haven't seen Senator Nina Turner's speech for Martin Luther King Day, Google will take it. It's 10 minutes, very short. But she really articulates the most essential thing that we can do, which is to stand up for ourselves. Nobody else is going to fight this fight for us. We have great legislators and champions in Congress. One of them is coming down right now. But nobody else but us. Nobody else but us is going to do this for us. No one else will do more for you than you are willing to do for yourself. And that is why it is so important that we come to Washington, and so important that Richard Brown was right and I was wrong. That we stand up for the very things that we believe in and that we know are necessary for a just and civil society, because it is up to us, and there is nobody else who will do it for for us, so we have to do it ourselves each and every day. Even if that means that we don't do some of the things we thought we might be able to do. Maybe we don't get to do that development that we thought we were going to do because we're too busy bringing people to meet with their elected officials. Or maybe we don't get to do the things in our personal lives that we might want to do because right now, every single person needs to be involved in the fight for justice. Because nobody else is going to do it for us, and nobody's going to do it for us.
Not right or wrong, we're all in this together for the fight of our lives. This is the perfect storm that's affecting us. Rents are rising, housing is disappearing, more people are at risk. If we do not stand up, we all lose. We need to be together in this. This is a big boat. We're all in that boat together. We've got to go together until we win. It is not about who's right and who's wrong. It is about how we stay together until we all win. Because that's the only choice we have. I wanted to